Lots of good stuff being said here. There's two parts to this question. The first one is addressing the sinking income levels, and I have to agree with a lot of what was been said as far as the sinking income levels. Is a lot of the higher priced jobs and the higher paying jobs are leaving our community and they're leaving our state. But the reality is Larimer County in the position where we're at is we actually are primed for economic recovery a lot better than a lot of other places in our state. Our location compared to where we are with I-80, the weather that we get up here, just overall location is we are in a great spot to be able to have that economic recovery and drive lots of jobs to our community. But that is a role as a representative, is working with our state government and working with our the county folks and then down at the state as far as providing the tools that we need to actually attract those businesses to the front range here. Education definitely is important. There are statistics that say the higher education that you have, the more chances that you're going to make a lot more money in the future. But the reality is a great education isn't worth anything if you don't have a job. For instance, my brother got an awesome degree 3 years ago from CSU, but got laid off after 6 months because there was no job. So now he's delivering pizzas down there in Denver because that's all he's got. So now he's got student loan bills and stuff that he's got to pay, but there's no job in his field. So yes, education is definitely important, but we have to drive the jobs to be able to put these educated folks to work. When we're talking about the second issue here, when we're talking about rising costs, definitely a healthy competitive market drives down costs. It provides more services so families can use to live on. When we're talking about beyond the free market, there are definitely things that the government can do as far as reducing those costs and the tax burden that we're putting on folks. I mean, if you look at the chart that was given us as far as when you break down the monthly costs that families have to deal with and come up with every month, there are different issues. And we're talking about housing. Well, housing, there's lots of energy costs that are in that thing. So we've seen rising energy costs by some of the regulations that have gone. That puts an undue burden on families. The senator talked about, we're talking about transportation. I've met so many different folks, and I knock on their door that are furious about the car tax increase, saying, "Look, I've only got a few dollars to play with every month, and when I have to come up with something like that, it puts a huge burden on myself and my family." When we're talking about taxes, when you look at the tax, that's a big line that's across there. We're talking almost 20% of what people have to pay are in taxes. So as a government, we need to make sure that we are not putting undue burdens on the citizens back here in our community. And we're talking about running business out of here. One of the main things that we passed that we didn't pass but was passed at the legislature this last year was repealed an exemption on energy. And a business like Kodak now has to pay over $20,000 a month more in energy costs. And so that definitely drives jobs out of our community.